Hey everyone, this is Teo. Today I'm going to review the ASUS ROG Strix 17AHP portable gaming monitor. So, a few disclaimers. First, this is a review unit from ASUS. I do have to return this, and this is not a paid review. Second disclaimer, I'm not a gamer. The only type of games that I play are RTS games, real-time strategy, Street Fighter, and what's the other one? Console games, yeah. So I'm actually not the type of gamers that would be able to maximize the potential of this monitor, because the main selling point for this is it can run up to 240 Hz and the response time is 3 milliseconds. Let me show you the things that are included first. So inside this box, there's another box for the monitor. These are almost all the things included. There's a USB-C to C cable. And this is the USB-C to USB Type-A adapter, micro HDMI to full-size HDMI, USB wall charger with 5 region-specific interchangeable pins, factory color calibration testing report, a huge padded carrying case with 3 pockets inside, and comes with a padded sling. This is the detachable monitor stand. This is quite heavy. The whole thing is made of metal except for this part here, the body, which is solid plastic. And you can deploy this stand very easily. Just pull out the legs and it will lock into position. To keep the legs, you just have to press this latch here to unlock it, and you can fold everything back down. This lock here is for controlling the height. You can turn this left and right, and you can also tilt this up and down. There's no lock for this part though, but this is very stiff, so it shouldn't go out of position. And at the top, there are 2 buttons to press to release this thing here, which I will screw onto the back of the monitor. So this is the back of the monitor, and there's a pretty prominent logo there. You have to use a coin to screw this part. Make sure it's tight. Let's take a look at the front. So this is the flip case and stand included. It's actually quite flimsy. It attaches magnetically to the bottom of the display. So you can do a triangle fold on the back to prop up the display. The flip case stand is not going to give you a lot of angles, obviously. This display is quite thin. It's about 1 centimeter thick. That's the power button, the OSD buttons, micro HDMI, USB-C display port, USB-C for charging, and 3.5mm audio jack. It's very easy to fix on the display. It clicks in place. When you rotate the angle, make sure to use both hands rather than a single hand. Otherwise, you can see what happens. That's the stand at the lowest height. It's actually higher than I expected. Alright, let's connect the monitor to the Microsoft Surface Book 3 that I have here. Now all the ports are on the left side, so if your computer's port is on this side, well, the USB-C cable is actually long enough to go over to the other side. Oh, the USB port is actually on this side. It powers on automatically. This is a 17.3-inch display, aspect ratio 16:9. If you are using a laptop that has a screen size smaller than 13 inches, then it makes more sense to get a larger external display for your gaming experience. This Surface Book 3 has a screen of 13.5 inches. Personally, for me, this is large enough for gaming. If you have a larger laptop like 15 inches, well, then it doesn't really make sense to get a display that is just 2 inches larger. If you're using consoles, or if you're playing from your Nintendo Switch or from your phones, then having an external display that's as big as this is going to make the gaming experience so much better. There is no touch though. Anyway, if you want to read more about the specs, you can check out the ASUS website. I'll put the link in the video description below. I have already color calibrated the display and I measured 97% sRGB and 77% Adobe RGB support, so color accuracy is quite good. And the colors, they look good out of the box. The maximum brightness measured was 230 nits, which is really good for a portable monitor like this. I've just rearranged the setup. So now the laptop is on the right side and the USB-C port is here. The cable goes to the back and to the left side of the monitor. The cable is barely long enough. So if you want to use a laptop and you still want to see the whole screen of your laptop, you will need to have a longer USB-C cable. And earlier on, I used a single USB-C cable to the monitor and it seems like it was able to power up the monitor, but it was actually using the internal battery as well as the power from the USB-C port. So if you want the battery to last longer, you can use external power source. If not, it's going to drain the battery from your laptop as well as the battery inside. I tried connecting another laptop with HDMI to the monitor and I was really surprised that it was able to power up the monitor, but that's actually not the case because it's running on internal battery. And the battery capacity inside is 7800 mAh. It's rated to last up to 3.5 hours when you run it at 240 Hz, so you can definitely get longer battery life if you run at lower frame rates or if you run at lower brightness. This monitor is currently on this very small table. Earlier on, I had one of the tripod legs pointing backwards and it was almost over the edge of the table, so that obviously is very dangerous. So now I have the leg pointing forwards. And if you want to adjust the monitor, always use both hands so that it's safer. And note the anti-glare is not particularly aggressive. So this is not a reflective glossy display. And the colors, they don't shift that much, which is great. It's a very nice IPS panel. Let's take a look at the settings you can change with the OSD menu. Okay, so you can actually change a lot of things. So this is the overdrive mode. This will affect the response time. So the response time is 3 milliseconds gray to gray. And here you have adaptive sync or FreeSync. Game Plus mode will allow you to put crosshairs on the display or timers or the FPS counter. And these are the various game visual modes: scenery, racing, cinema, sRGB user mode. Okay, let's go back to the image. So you can change brightness, contrast, sharpness, all these things. Now some of these options may be grayed out depending on which gaming visual mode you have chosen. Color temperature. With color temperature, they allow you to select from this three and also change the RGB, but you cannot select the actual color temperature like 6500K. This is the gamma. For the power, you can choose whether or not you allow for USB-C charging from your laptop. So if you don't want the display to drain power from your laptop, you can actually turn that off. Yep. Auto rotation. You should rotate your desktop from your computer's OS, either Windows or Mac OS. Both will work. So that's great if you play games that require a vertical display. Input mode is automatic. So here you can see the monitor is currently charging and it's now running at the maximum resolution 1920 by 1080 at 240 Hz. This is GTA 5. I'm going to run at 1080p at 240 Hz. Now this display, it's really made for games that can run at the maximum frame rate like FPS, first-person shooters, which unfortunately I do not play, so I won't be able to showcase to you the true potential of this monitor. And if you are not playing those high frame rate games, then it doesn't really make sense to buy a monitor with features that you're not going to use. Okay, let's go and play. So right now it's running at 41 FPS, which is all right, I guess, because there's no action happening. Let me change the frame rate to, let me change the resolution to something that is lower. And now it's running at 100 FPS, so 2 times the frame rates compared to 1080p. This is running at 720p. By the way, the audio quality from the front-facing speakers, they are fantastic for, portable displays. The colors do look great. If you want to play at 1080p and you want to achieve maximum frame rates, make sure you have a graphics card that is actually powerful enough to do so, that allows you to play at the maximum resolution, the maximum frame rate. Because right now I am playing with the GTX 1650 Max-Q graphics card on the Surface Book 3. Oh, whoa. So right now I'm playing Raiden Fighters 2, one of my favorite games from a few decades ago. I had to rotate the display, and to do that I actually have to unscrew the back because I wasn't able to turn the display. The back was too tight, or maybe the stand doesn't allow for the display to turn with your hand, so I have to actually unscrew the back. This means if you want to make the display horizontal again, you have to unscrew the back, which is kind of inconvenient. Playing vertical games with vertical or portrait orientation, it's very enjoyable. And this game, by the way, came out like decades ago, so it's very pixelated. And speaking of pixelation, if you play 1080p, you are going to notice some pixelation, but it's not too bad. When seated 1 arm's length away, it's still not too bad. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The stand is now at its lowest position, so it has enough clearance for the monitor to display vertically. And note again, the cables, you will need to have a longer cable, so that you don't accidentally twist the USB port and bend it. In Windows, if you are using extended desktop mode or dual screen mode, you can choose to have 1 monitor in landscape and 1 monitor in portrait. Do not use the flip case to deploy the monitor in portrait orientation because this is very flimsy. Chances are the display is going to topple forward, so don't use this to just use the tripod stand whenever possible to mount your monitor, and that will be much safer. This is Fortnite running on the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, so you can see the display, it's actually larger compared to what you see on this 17 inch because there are black bars at the top and left. So for certain games on the iPad, or for certain apps on the iPad, it will not allow you to run at maximum resolution, so you're going to get those black bars. If you play this on Android, you can probably maximize this to full screen. Alright, to conclude, let me go through the things I like and dislike. I like the design, it's very clean and simple design, thin bezels, display quality is fantastic, up to 97% sRGB, color support, 230 nits of brightness. The USB-C port is very convenient. There's also a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI. And the audio quality for the front-facing speakers, fantastic. This is a very compact setup, very thin and very lightweight. So you can bring this very easily around. The stand, the build quality for the stand is fantastic. The only thing I don't like about the stand is you cannot rotate the display. You actually have to go back and unscrew the back. Things I don't like, well, other than the rotation thing with the stand, the USB-C cable could be longer and the resolution could be higher. I feel like if this 17-inch display has 1440p resolution, that would have been perfect. And the pricing is on the high side, so only you can decide whether or not this is going to be worth your money. Unfortunately for me, due to the games that I play, I wasn't able to showcase the maximum potential to you guys. Sorry about that. Alright, so I hope this video is somewhat helpful. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Bye!